Released in January 2014, The Wolf of Wall Street is a cinematic masterpiece that has left an indelible mark on the film industry. Directed by the renowned filmmaker Martin Scorsese and starring Leonardo DiCaprio, the film was a high-caliber production that captured the attention of audiences worldwide. Its engaging plot portrays the extravagances of Wall Street with humor and sharpness, making it a box office and critical phenomenon. Throughout the film, we are immersed in a world of luxury, extravagance, and excess, where morality is often set aside in favor of greed and an insatiable desire for more. Below, you'll find a detailed and somewhat controversial analysis of 13 unconventional and somewhat questionable lessons that can be drawn from the movie. Enjoy. 1. The importance of exaggerated self-confidence. In an emblematic scene, JordanBelfort demonstrates his exaggerated self-confidence when giving a motivational speech to his team at Stratton Oakmont. He enters the scene extremely confident and charismatic, persuading his colleagues to follow his questionable business practices. With captivating and convincing language, Jordan disregards any possibility of failure and promises wealth and success to those who follow him. His self-confidence is so persuasive that it influences the entire environment around him, turning his colleagues into fervent followers, even in the face of the ethical and legal consequences of his actions. 2. The art of seduction in business. At one point, JordanBelfort gives a presentation to potential investors in a luxurious and extravagant environment. With a mix of charisma, persuasion, and manipulation, Jordan uses captivating language and confident gestures to seduce his audience and convince them to invest in his financial strategies. He employs seduction techniques such as intense eye contact, confident body language, and a charismatic and persuasive speech to engage his viewers and hypnotize them with his proposals. Jordan creates an aura of confidence and success that attracts his listeners, persuading them to enter into his business, even if it involves significant risks. 3. The role of excess in society. In a classic scene from the film, JordanBelfort and his colleagues are at an extravagant and hedonistic party at his mansion, where drugs, alcohol, and excessive behavior are on full display. The image portrays an environment of limitless indulgence, where luxury and pleasure are recklessly pursued, reflecting the materialistic and consumerist values of the society in which they live. The film depicts how excess is glorified and encouraged in this world of Wall Street, where money and power are seen as the only valid objectives. The scene vividly portrays the culture of excess that permeates the lives of Jordan and his colleagues, where there are no limits to the pleasures and indulgences they seek. 4. Wealth can buy almost anything. At one point, JordanBelfort faces an FBI investigation and is about to be arrested. However, he uses his wealth and influence to try to avoid the consequences of his crimes. By hiring a team of renowned lawyers and offering generous bribes, Jordan attempts to manipulate the legal system in his favor. He believes his fortune gives him the power to buy his freedom and escape the consequences of his illegal actions. The scene highlights how money can be used as a tool to circumvent justice and protect the privileged, underscoring the idea that in the society depicted in the film, wealth can indeed buy almost anything. However, it also serves as an indirect critique of power inequality and corruption that often permeate legal and social systems, showing how the wealthiest individuals have significant advantages when it comes to facing the consequences of their actions. 5. The irony of selective morality. The film exposes society's hypocrisy and selective morality, showing how people often condemn certain practices while enjoying the fruits of the system that allows them. In another iconic scene, JordanBelfort and his colleagues at Stratton Oakmont discuss their questionable business practices while celebrating their exorbitant profits. Despite being involved in fraudulent and harmful financial activities, they justify their actions as part of the Wall Street game, arguing that they are simply following the rules of the financial market. This scene illustrates the irony of selective morality, where these characters are able to ignore the ethical consequences of their actions, justifying them with convenient reasoning that benefits only their own interests. It's a stark critique of hypocrisy and lack of moral responsibility in the pursuit of financial success at any cost. They may describe themselves as masters of the financial universe, but their morality is fluid and adaptable, depending solely on how their actions affect their own enrichment. 6. The transitory nature of success. Towards the end of the film, JordanBelfort is in a desperate situation, facing the consequences of his illegal actions and wanton excesses. He loses his fortune, is arrested, and faces the ruin of his reputation and relationships. Previously, Jordan was the epitome of success, living a life of unparalleled luxury and power. However, this scene portrays the rapid downfall of this seemingly immutable success. It's a powerful reminder of how success can be fleeting and ephemeral, especially when built on fragile and morally questionable foundations. The scene highlights the fragility of wealth and power, and how they can disappear in an instant when the consequences of reckless choices materialize. It serves as a reflection on the illusory nature of material success and the importance of more solid and enduring values in the pursuit of a satisfying and meaningful life. 7. Unbridled individualism. At the beginning of the film, JordanBelfort receives training from his mentor, Mark Hanna, played by Matthew McConaughey, in his first experience in the financial market. Hanna, a Wall Street veteran, champions unbridled individualism, encouraging Jordan to prioritize his own interests above all else. During the dialogue, Hanna instructs Jordan to focus solely on enriching himself, ignoring any ethical or moral considerations. He emphasizes the importance of being selfish and ruthless in business, without worrying about the consequences of his actions on others. This scene sets the tone for Jordan's individualistic and amoral behavior throughout the film, emphasizing the idea that in the world of Wall Street, success is measured by the ability to accumulate personal wealth, regardless of the means used. 8. Glamour trumps consequence. Once again, JordanBelfort and his colleagues are celebrating huge financial success with a lavish and extravagant party at their Stratton Oakmont office. Despite being involved in fraudulent and illegal business practices, they completely ignore the consequences of their actions in favor of pursuing glamour and instant gratification. The party is filled with ostentation, with champagne flowing, drugs being consumed in excess, and attractive women present in an atmosphere of euphoria and hedonism. This scene highlights how the allure of momentary success and a luxurious lifestyle can overshadow the moral and legal consequences of their actions, leading them into a spiral of irresponsible and unrestrained behavior. 9. The impunity of the powerful. At another of his luxurious parties, JordanBelfort is in his mansion, surrounded by friends, colleagues, and subordinates, when he is approached by an FBI agent investigating his illegal activities. Despite being confronted with accusations and evidence of his criminal practices, Jordan displays an attitude of confidence and nonchalance, evidencing his belief in impunity due to his wealth and influence. He refuses to be intimidated by the FBI agent and continues to enjoy the party, confident that his social status and financial resources will protect him from the legal consequences of his actions. This scene highlights how powerful individuals often feel above the law and believe they can escape the consequences of their actions due to their privileged position in society. JordanBelfort epitomizes this mindset of impunity of the powerful, showing how wealth and social status can serve as shields against legal accountability. 10. The subversion of social norms. Jordan and his colleagues at Stratton Oakmont are partying on a private plane during a commercial flight. In this environment, they completely disregard the expected behavioral norms on a commercial plane, engaging in hedonistic behaviors such as excessive alcohol consumption, drug use, and explicit sexual interactions. This scene highlights how the characters defy and subvert traditional social norms, acting without restraint and exhibiting complete disrespect for social expectations and conventions. This portrayal of subversion underscores the hedonistic and irresponsible behavior of many magnates who feel above the social rules and limitations due to their power and status in society. 11. Persistence as a double-edged sword. A scene that illustrates the idea well occurs when Jordan tries to persuade a client to invest in shares of the company Stratton Oakmont, despite the client's initial objections. Initially, the client is reluctant to make the investment due to concerns about the risks involved. However, Jordan persistently uses his persuasion skills and determination to overcome the client's objections. He employs compelling arguments, tempting promises, and a confident attitude to finally convince the client to follow his recommendation. This scene highlights how persistence can be a double-edged sword, capable of both achieving desired goals and potentially manipulating or coercing others into following a path that may not be in their best interest. It underscores the power of determination and persuasion, but also raises questions about ethics and responsibility in the pursuit of success in business. 12. Pleasure overrides responsibility. JordanBelfort and his colleagues are at an extravagant party where excessive drug and alcohol consumption is in full swing. Despite being aware of the negative consequences of their excesses, including imminent legal problems and the ruin of personal relationships, the characters dive headlong into the search for immediate pleasure. They indulge in a life of unbridled hedonism, prioritizing instant gratification and the satisfaction of personal desires above any moral or ethical responsibility. This scene is a stark representation of how the desire for fleeting pleasure can lead people to completely neglect their responsibilities and face the consequences of their actions. It shows how, in JordanBelfort's world, the drive for immediate pleasure overrides any sense of responsibility or consideration for long-term repercussions. 13. The fascination with politically incorrect culture. At one point, JordanBelfort and his colleagues at Stratton Oakmont are celebrating the success of their fraudulent business practices, which have yielded them exorbitant profits. Amidst the celebration, the characters not only glorify their criminal activities, but also seem to relish the challenge of circumventing laws and deceiving the financial system. They exhibit a fascination with risk and transgression, demonstrating an admiration for the power that comes from manipulation and breaking established rules. The scene vividly portrays the characters' involvement in the culture of crime, where success is measured by the ability to skirt norms and enrich rapidly, regardless of the legality or morality of their actions. While it critiques the characters' illegal actions, the film also reveals society's fascination with the culture of crime and the lifestyle associated with it, questioning our notions of right and wrong